We're back online after a break. Sincere apologies. Things were heating up a bit, not just on the ground, also off the ground with the equipments. Thanks to the sun god here, which was pretty sharp. Hopefully we get some respite now. Good clouds. And we are currently down 7 overs, 51. Alex is a new bowler. His first over went for 7 for no loss. Pretty good in terms of line and length. Extra run up. Not sure if he's in a position to convert that into the speed that he's looking for. And there we go. That's a wide delivery. Dhruv and Aaron playing a very, very cautious inning. Although they didn't have luck with a lot of these deliveries which were way outside the leg or the off stump. Giving a few extras though. As you can see, 53 on the board right now of 7.3 overs. Alex coming up for the next one. Dhruv nicely leaves it outside the leg stump, and that's another wide. It's raining extras at this point. Batsmen are not required to try anything extra as long as they're getting a few extras around here. That was another wide. It's continuing to rain extras at this point. What started off pretty well with Viraj controlling his ball well, and in fact even Amartya bowling his first over in a very disciplined line and length. Suddenly things have gone haywire in terms of the bowling length after that, and quite a few wides and extras offered. That was a good delivery. With straighter, Dhruv was unable to navigate that through. Cautious innings going on across Dhruv and Aryan. Dhruv is 3 of 28 deliveries. Aryan is 9 of 23. And we have a spinner in the form of Karthikeyan now into the attack for a second over. That is a nice loop, turning a bit, and Aryan again treading it quite cautiously. No runs off that delivery. 57 on board at the end of 8 overs. Another flight offered, and Aryan takes it up, and unfortunately that's straight to the fielder. That's the first damage for the SportyGo Lions. We've lost the first wicket in the form of Aryan with 9 of 24 deliveries. After a cautious start, I guess he was looking for a release shot, and that just gave it up in the air. Arush is the new player in. He's had a pretty successful stint of the recent friendlies. Hoping for him to repeat the success here. Aryan disappointed after having a cautious start. Unfortunately, was looking for a release shot on a wrong one, and that went up in the air. Nicely caught by Rian. On the strike, we've got Arush facing Karthikeyan's third delivery. Karthikeyan had a pretty good first over as well. Nice loop, good turn off the pitch. And for all those who know how the pitch work here, typically it's a bit difficult to get turn unless you're really a good wrist spinner, and that's what Karthikeyan is. Goes off for his third delivery, a little outside the leg, and that was nicely hit by Arush. And Well, that was not just a 4, it was flat 6 over the boundary ropes. That was brilliant stuff for Arish. First delivery, particularly gifted outside the leg stump, and he didn't have to try too hard to get that across the line. Karthikeyan had otherwise a pretty good over so far, but this was short, and I think a lot of leg room, a lot of width was also offered to the batsman, and batsman making full use of that. That brings in the total to 63 of 8.3 overs for SportyGo Lions. I still won't call them on track. There's quite a lot to be done. There's another, I guess, 17 overs with 206 runs to win. Another 206 runs. So quite a tall order, and batsmen will really need to up the ante at some stage and pick the bowlers where they can increase the run rate. So far things have been going okay for Karthikeyan. Changing the side now. Cautiously played by Arish. Good composure after that first 6 that he had. Must appreciate the way Karthik is getting his ball to turn a bit on the surface, which is fantastic. That is another one where again a lot of shot time offered, not much width, but he was in a position to get it off for a 6. So 2 productive deliveries in this over for SportyGo. I guess Karthik is offering a lot of width. At the same time, he is also going a bit shorter, giving enough time for the batsmen to choose their shots. Arish continuing with his form from his recent friendlies that he's played, so seeing the ball pretty well, and that gets him 12 of his 3 deliveries so far. Looks like the field is off on a ball hunt. Hopefully we've been able to find that. Yes, we have. Rayan brings it back on the ground. Karthikeyan moving field a bit, bringing in the gully fielder into the square leg area, hoping to control the boundaries. A little fuller but outside the leg stump, and unfortunately that's a wide. Karthik possibly unable to capitalize on the excellent start that he had in the first over. 14 runs offered off his second. That takes the score to 71 off 9 overs. So run rate now picking up a bit. 9 overs, 71 on board. We've got Akash joining into the attack now. The first ball being wide outside the leg stump. It's continuing to rain extras at this stage. It's unfortunate. The ball is now fairly hit, so I guess they should be able to control that. Dhruv playing the next one cautiously. No run off that one. That was a flipper from Akash. Dhruv unable to connect, going straight to the keeper. And that is a wicket. Akash offered a bit of a flight. Dhruv was unfortunately unable to connect it well, and that goes straight to the bowler. So Dhruv goes for 3. Pretty cautious in a slow innings. Next we have on the batting side is Darshil. Akash mixing up his deliveries pretty well. Started off with a quicker one and then This one was where a bit of a flat was offered and the batsman tried to take it. Looks like a bit of a stare shared with the batsman, Darshil, possibly not giving too much attention to it and trying to focus on his game there. Akash bowling his 5th delivery of this over. Darshil cautiously treading the ball along a quiet place. No runs attempted. Score stays at 73 of 2. Another fuller delivery. Darshil quietly sent it down to the fielder. Last ball of the over. Going straight to the fielder again. No run taken by Darshil. So at the end of 10 overs, SportyGo is 73 for 2. It's another 15 overs to go and a close to 196 runs to win. It's a pretty tall order. They'll possibly have to try something extra. They will have to up the ante significantly to get back into this game. They've only lost the 2 openers, but they've got a pretty deep and a steady batting order, so we do expect the next few batsmen as well. That was outside the leg stump. Ryan starting his over with a wide. I guess extras are the highest scorers as of now. .1, 75 for 2, SportyGo Lions. Arish on strike, facing Ryan. Nice stride, coming nicely across to the delivery and pushed it slightly across to the bowler. No runs offered there. It's got a pretty nice bowling run-up, a steady flow and a good stride, which is helping him land the ball in the right space. Ryan coming up as 3rd delivery. Going outside the off stump to Arish. Quietly slicing, opening the face of the bat and slicing it to the 3rd man. No run attempted. Strike rotation seems to be a bit of a challenge at this stage. Not many singles being attempted with the boards going to the fielders. Ryan comes up for his 4th delivery of this over. Another steady swinging delivery outside the off stump, and this time Arish has absolutely no mistake. Flings it over to over the boundary for a 6. So that goes to 81 for 2. Brilliantly attempted shot here and yielding a 6. Arush ready for Ryan's next. Outside the off stump again on a beautiful drive that should go all the way down to the boundary rope. That's a 4. A beautiful cover drive beating all the fielders across. Nice stride and a brilliant way of executing this shot right across the ground. So Ryan trying a bit harder and possibly bowling quite a few fuller sort of deliveries, and that way is helping. Arush was able to side the ball pretty well right now. Ryan coming for the last ball of this over, and that's a beautiful ball. Nice height that he got on this ball, and Arush unfortunately was not in a position to clear it, offers a straight catch to the bowler, and SportyGo is 85 for 3. Looked like a quick cameo from Arush. It was a few good hits that he was able to manage off his first few deliveries. Unfortunately, looked to be in two minds on this delivery where he was trying to pull it across but did not offer quite on his way through, and that in a way resulted in a straight catch to the bowler. Ryan picking up his first wicket of his last delivery. We've got Akshay now coming back into the attack, and the new batsman in Vihan. Darshil will take the strike as it's the end of the over. So with a new over. And the first delivery there goes for a clean hit, a clean 6 from Darshil. That's a fantastic start of this over for him. Akash coming up for his second of this over, and Darshil dealing with sixes right now. I could see the one which possibly landed on the second floor of the school building that you can see on the left. So he's surely making his intentions very clear right now. He is surely going to go off for deliveries which are meant to be dealt that way. A fantastic strike. That's a very, very positive piece of cricket. They lost 3 wickets, but absolutely not causing any sort of a flutter in the team. Darshil coming up with the same level of confidence and showing the ropes. As you can see, it's taking some time. We've lost the ball again. It's possibly somewhere in the school building, and we are on a hunt. So in the meantime, let me just take you through the summary of the match so far. We've had the first innings from KRS Blues. They were in a position to score 268 off 7 wickets. Sorry for the interruption again. We're just trying a few things over here, trying to replay some of the shots. And Dashil is continuing with his assertive innings. That was another six that he just saw. Karthikeyan coming fresh for his third delivery of this over. And Dashil again swabbing off for a boundary. It was a beautiful boundary off the square leg. Absolutely no chance to stop that, and that takes that total to 106. So while we were off broadcast for a bit, we covered the century for SportyGo Lions. Things seem to be looking a bit up now, with scores picking up. 12 overs and 106, 13th over in progress. And Darshal, unfortunately, that was a huge blow to the team. Darshal gets out stumped. He's trying to move ahead and attack Karthik's bowling. Karthik smartly kept it out of the off stump, went straight to the keeper, and that gets them a stump out. So that's the fourth wicket gone now for 106. SportyGo Lions in a bit of a trouble right now. .4 overs, 106 for 4. Unfortunately, Darshal was striking really well, but unfortunately fell off on a easy one going outside the off stump and got stumped. Lalit Aditya, the next one on the crease now.
That's okay, boy. Well played, yeah. Karthikeyan. Karthikeyan. Okay. Welcome back after the break. So, SportyGo lines 106 for 4. Karthikeyan in a very good spell. The last ball of the third over, 25 for 2. Here we go. Push the ball back nicely to the bowler. So Lalit Aditya is a new batsman along with Vihan. Score kya? At least tell me. Okay. Okay, welcome back guys. It's 115 for 5. Anubhav and Vihan are the new batsmen playing, with Arav bowling his finished just his first over for 10 runs. So at the end of the 14th over, it's 116 for 5. We have Akash bowling the third over of the game, and behind the wicket it's gone all the way to the boundary. It's just hit the bat of Anubhav and just gone behind the wicket for a boundary. Oh, there we go. Anubhav hits right up on the sky, and then it's a diving attempt from the fielder, but unlucky. And they have managed to take a single from there. That's a beautiful ball. He's just cleaned him up. Anubhav has been completely cleaned. So we can see the wickets tumbling down on one end for the SportyGo lines, with the score being 120. So The KRS Blues have come back strongly after a great batting show. They have shown the same on their bowling front. So 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 it's Akash continuing to bowl his off spinners. So the ball is gone by behind the back and they've just stealed a single here. And it turns out to be a leg bye. Good shot. Akash trying to field. It hits his leg and rolls to the fielder nearby. So it's Arav back into the account, into the attack with 121 for 6 in 15 overs. Anirudh and Anubhav are the batsmen.
Change in the bowler and change on the commentary side as well. We've got Arav coming up the over for the second delivery of this over. That was a wide delivery of Arav. Looks like a few issues on the scorecard here. We're trying to rectify that. Players are Anirudh and Vihan. That's the end of this over. And we've got 16 overs, 123 for 6. 9 overs to go, 146 to win. Tall order unless somebody really ups the ante. Vihan is on strike now, playing Viraj, who has an excellent first spell with 2 overs of just 8 runs. And that was a short ball outside the leg stump, and Vihan let it go to a wide. Yet another addition to the extras. It'll take a bit for the scorecard to update. Vihan continues to be on strike to Viraj. A beautiful straight up ball, and Vihan was unable to connect. Goes back to the keeper. No runs off that one. Vihan facing Viraj. A little short, and Vihan nicely navigates that down to the deep fine leg. 1 run off that one, and the score moves on to 124. The score has stopped for a bit, so please bear with us. We're trying to correct a few errors out there. Viraj coming off of his next delivery again. Anirudh not able to connect. Viraj coming off for the fifth delivery, I guess. Nice one, swinging a little outside the off stump. Straight to the keeper. No runs on that one. Guess that's the end of the over. End of 17 overs, 124. Vihan facing Arav of the next over. Nicely batted straight to the fielder, straight to the keep bowler rather. Arav to Vihan, a little fuller. Vihan pushes it down to the covers fielder for no run. Vihan facing the third delivery of Arav. A little time offered, but did straight to the covers. Trying to go across the line on that one. Unfortunately not able to connect well. Been a rather quieter over from Karthikeyan. And that's a beauty. That's a 6. Another mighty one from Vihan.
Good shot, buddy.
A full toss offered, and Vihan says thank you, taken on board, and that moves out of the boundary for a beautiful 6.
DPS International School, Singapore is affiliated to Cambridge-based IGCSE and GCE A-levels and ICSE and ISC. In today's dynamic global scenario, the school emphasizes on learning based on practical approach, focusing on the aim of creating an Indian environment abroad. The DPS International Singapore imparts quality education from pre-nursery to class 12th. The school keeps itself abreast of the changing times and equips its children with the tools to grapple with the ever-evolving world with its myriad challenges. The DPS has indeed carved a niche for itself in the sphere of quality education in Singapore.
Welcome back after the commentator's break here. Last 4 overs to go. Last 4 overs to go. We are at 145 for 7. That was a wide from Alex, giving away another 2 runs extra. That brings it to 100. Brings the total 147. One run of the first ball from Akash. Vihan facing Akash. Nice delivery outside the off stump. Vihan hits it out for a catch, and that is the end of Vihan's innings. Last 3 overs to go. Batsmen are already trying to give it all they can. Unfortunately, not going with Vihan's wish, and that he gives up an easy catch down to the point. $147 for 8 SportyGo lines now. Three overs trying to put up some respectable total here. Akash bowling his next one to Rishabh. Loud appeal, but no result. Akash is bowling very well, turning the ball quite well. He's a nice, handy wrist spinner. That was an attempted googly. Gave a bit of a weight, but unfortunately batsman could not convert that into a run. I must say the running between the wickets has been a little below par. The ball was down to the fine leg boundary, which could have been easily converted to a single. Akash comes in for this next one. It was a beautiful delivery right into the block hole, and Rishabh had absolutely no opportunity to play. Nice straighter delivery right into the block hole. And that's the end of Rishabh's short innings, and SportyGo Lions are 9 down for 147. Just to remind you, this is a 12-player match, so there will be 2 more players coming now. Pawan Kumar, the new batsman in, and he gets gifted with the 4 byes there. Akshay trying the same fuller deliveries right on the block hole. Unfortunately, couldn't control the line, and that results into a 4. Apologies for the scores errors here. That's quite a bit off. I think we've missed a few deliveries, and that's where you can see the scores jumping a bit, primarily because a few deliveries were missed in scoring. 161 for 9 now. SportyGo. Pavan Kumar. Nice assertive shot. Outside the cover boundary. And that results into a 4. Good assertive innings for Pavan. The new man in. Pavan and Rakshan, sorry. Karthikeyan offered a bit of a width, not taken. Placed down to the wider gully. No run attempted. SportyGo Lions at 165 for 9 now. Just last 2 overs to go. That was a huge loop. Again, not taken at all by the batsman. A nice sight. The ball went back to the keeper. No runs attempted. So Karthikeyan is trying all his might to tempt the batsman into a shot. Looks like Rakshan is not impacted. There was another one, and there was a pad in between, but ball was possibly going down the leg, and that goes in favour of Rakshan here. Umpire not interested to entertain the appeal and moving on to the next delivery. 165 for 9 SportyGo Lions. So the game is definitely out of the hands. They are away by 100 runs now. No run attempted on that delivery as well. The ball nicely drifting outside the off stump. No shot offered. Karthikeyan pulling the last ball of his spell. Nicely looped in. Rakshan not interested to touch. Quite interesting to see that at this part of the game where there's just last couple of overs and they got to possibly make a positive impact on their next innings. So hopefully the batsmen learn from here and start seeing this more assertively. Karthikeyan has completed his over. Akshay coming up with his last over of this innings. First delivery, Pavan unable to connect. No runs of that one. Here we go, the second delivery. Trying to bowl it lower, getting into the stumps. But a leg by benefiting the batsman here. So Pavan gets a single off this one. Total moves on to 166 now off 9 wickets. Akshay bowling his third delivery to Rakshan. Last over, nothing much expected, and Rakshan doesn't seem to be interested over the past couple of overs. He seems to be trying to get off to the 25 over mark, and there's no attempt on a shot. This was outside the leg stump wide. Thank you. A gift at this stage is always welcome, irrespective of the score. 168, and that brings in exactly a difference of 100 runs now to be scored in the last 2 deliveries. Or rather 4 deliveries, sorry. That's wide again. The difference goes below 100 now. It's 98. And Pavan trying to do something towards that delivery and unfortunately not able to connect. As I mentioned here, SportyGo Lions is down 10 wickets, but this is a 12-player game, so we've got Joey coming up next. The only female player on the SportyGo Lions side. Score is 170 for 10 now. So 99 runs are required of the last 2 deliveries. So I hope I don't have to repeat that score anymore. There's absolutely no expectation of completing 98. Joey. This is her first match, so technically a debut. So you can imagine the nerves. Akshay going with his 5th delivery. nicely spinning on the surface with a nice wrist spin that Akshay is attempting, and no run as a result of this delivery. Akshay coming over to the last delivery of this innings, and again no runs possible. Batsman was not able to connect, and that brings us to an end of SportyGo Lions innings, 170 for 10. And KRS Blues comfortably wins this match by 98 runs, thanks to an excellent innings by Ryan, 129. Gem of an innings today, a treat to watch. The players coming off the ground now. Thank you for being with us today. Have a great day ahead.
The DPS International School Singapore is affiliated to Cambridge-based IGCSE and GCE A-levels and ICSE and ISC. In today's dynamic global scenario, the school emphasizes on learning based on practical approach, focusing on the aim of creating an Indian environment abroad. The DPS International Singapore imparts quality education from pre-nursery to class 12.